right up now. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. It's game time, fellas. Come on. It's our turn.
Well, we can finally say it. The NBA regular season is about to get underway. And here at 2K Sports, we couldn't be happier. This is Kevin Harlan along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And of course, David Aldridge is joining us tonight from the sideline. DA, take it away.
Well, the process in Philly has finally started yielding big results. The Sixers have star players and tremendous fans who stood by them through the lean years, and they're ecstatic at what they're seeing on the court. There are a handful of elite teams in the East, Kevin, but the Sixers are confident they belong with the best of them.
They certainly can. Well done, DA. Thank you. And a look now at the Celtics' upcoming schedule. On Friday, they'll take on Marc Gasol and the Toronto Raptors. And then on Saturday, they'll tip off a road trip in New York where they'll take on the Knicks. So let's take a look at the Boston Celtics starting lineup. Hayward at small forward with Tatum at the 4. Walker and Brown, they're manning the backcourt. And it's Tice in at the 5 down low. And for Philadelphia, the tall lineup out there for the 76ers. Simmons, Richardson, Harris, Horford, and Embiid. On opening night, Clark, both teams would love to start off, obviously, on a winning note.
Without question. I mean, setting that winning tone, gaining that confidence that comes from winning, and they all count. Wins today are just as important as wins that you get in March and April.
And so off the tip, it's Boston.
Match up on Walker.
Brown feeling it out a bit.
What's the roll? Hit me, I'm open.
Pass to Tatum.
I got your help.
And stolen by Horford. Here's Harris. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's going to go on Gordon Hayward.
Well, you look at Tobias Harris, and I really think attacking defenses is one of his strong suits.
This is his first chance at the line tonight.
And he was dialed in at the line a season ago, 87% from the line.
And, guys, if a game was coming down to the wire and an opponent needed to foul, I mean, he was the guy they wanted with the ball in his hands. I mean, shooting the free throws because of his proficiency there.
That's good from Harris.
Boy, the Sixers have come a long way in a short period of time. I mean, 2 years after finishing as the 4th worst team in the league, guys, they came within a few points of making the Eastern Conference Finals.
So he hits 1 of 2 from the stripe. And this Sixers team has championship aspirations. Clark, can they make it out of the East, you think?
Yeah, I think this Sixers team, guys, is very much capable of being an Eastern Conference champion. I mean, we forget about all the midseason trades they had a season ago. They didn't have a lot of time to ferment and gel. I think with a full season, training camp and a full season, with the players they have, they're going to be a force in the East for several years.
Now, here's Walker. The kick out to Tatum. Just 5 on the clock. Tries it from 19.
You got it.
That one's rebounded by Embiid.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Richardson, good.
Boy, the floor awareness and passing ability of Embiid, very impressive, and he continues to grow as a passer.
Walker against Simmons. Tatum passes to Brown. 3-pointer. Again, the miss by the Celtics.
3 misses to start the game, still trying to break the seal on that hoop.
Tipped away. Back to Embiid, and Embiid throws it down.
Yeah, that's good vision from Harris. I mean, he draws so much attention himself, so he's become a capable passer.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Back to Brown.
Screen.
Outside, Walker. Shoots over Embiid. Again, the miss by the Celtics.
Yeah, scoreless here early after their first 4 shots. They, right now, are searching for a bucket.
Pass to Simmons. And there's the pass to Horford. Richardson trying to break loose. Horford, no luck. Boston's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Passes to Tice. Kicks it to Walker. Tatum on the wing. They could use a bucket. Again, the miss by the Celtics.
Yeah, slow start right now. 5 straight misses to get this one going.
Richardson dishes to Embiid. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Embiid's got his second bucket of the night.
That's big boy strength, real big boy strength. Embiid is so good at fighting through whatever challenges the defenses present.
So the Celtics called timeout. They're first. Well, maybe not the most well-known player in the league, but Josh Richardson has been a big source of offense, and Greggy's done it for a while now.
A bit of a specialist, but Richardson has no problem putting up and making threes.
Now, here's Walker. To the inside, Tatum. Simmons with the defensive effort.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
Count it, good.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Simmons against Walker. He kicks to Tatum. Brown outside. Back to Tatum. Makes it off the glass.
And, you know, his height and quick release help Tatum do work in the post. The defense can only do so much.
Simmons against Walker. Richardson outside. Philadelphia needs to get a shot off. And here's Harris from the arc. Connects from three-point range.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
Quality looks they're getting, and they're capitalizing on them, guys. They have to be happy with this start offensively.
And it's Brown missing. Now the 76ers with it. They've got a 13-2 run going. The drive by Simmons. And Simmons slams it in.
And they have owned the paint so far, and the score reflects it.
And, you know, establishing that physical dominance early gives you a big mental edge, too. Don't discount that.
And he comes up with the deuce. Tatum's got his second basket of the game.
Inside, outside, mid-range doesn't make any difference. Tatum comfortable anywhere because this guy is a bucket getter.
Horford finds Simmons. Pass to Embiid. And the dunk by Embiid.
I like their focus coming in. Terrific execution so far.
And, you know, it's an all-out effort they've come in with. Very aggressive offense so far.
Walker's shot is off.
And pulled out all the stops to fight his way inside, but the D just was not giving in.
And Greg, Al Horford over the summer opting out of a contract with Boston, the final year with the Celtics. A bit of a surprise to fans.
You know, Horford said he wanted to test free agency. Talks between him and Boston abruptly ended, was wooed by several teams, but ultimately signed on with the Sixers.
Shooting 2.
And that one misses.
And we come back to it again and again. If you're just looking at points and rebounds, you really miss Al Horford's impact. It goes way deeper than the box score.
And he's good on the second. And some detractors have looked at Horford's stats, and Greg, they said he's not an all-star. Even Sports Talk Radio calling him Average Al.
Nonsense. I mean, still a great defender, efficient scorer, elite passer as well for a big man. Then you get to his leadership. Big Al is the total package.
Ben Simmons gets the bucket.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Clearly just an example of a different mindset between these teams.
Now, here's Walker. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Ben Simmons with the rebound.
And he just hasn't been able to make anything this quarter.
Count it.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Well, I agree with you. 4 of their last 5 baskets have been exactly of that variety.
Here's Walker after Ben Simmons' bucket. Over Simmons. Shots good by Walker.
Well, I tell you what, in these sets, it's hard to know how to guard Kemba Walker. Quick, crafty, and lethal with that shot. So good at taking what's in front of him.
Now here's Simmons. He has 6. With some arc, and the shot goes in. Simmons got 8.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
And Walker kicks to Tatum. Brown the pass to Tatum. Rebound by the 76ers.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Here's Horford. Second chance shot. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys, too.
The Celtics making a switch here. Enes Kanter's checked in for Daniel Tice. Williams comes in for Jason Tatum. Smart's checked in for Gordon Hayward. And it's Edwards in for Kemba Walker. And that one falls for Horford. Clark, a lot of coaches like to run their offense through centers. Any names you can think of who you'd be comfortable running your offense through at that position?
Well, just because I've watched him and loved his game since locking into him, Jokic.
Yes.
Man, can he pass it. He can shoot it. He can score it inside. He's got such excellent hands and touch. He's at the top of the list. DeMarcus Cousins, big guy that can shoot it and pass it as well. And Marc Gasol is also in that list.
Yeah, you'd feel comfortable with any of those guys holding the ball, distributing the ball, wouldn't you?
No doubt.
Now here's Simmons. 8 points for him.
Just enough coverage to bother that 3-point attempt.
And here's Smart. Pass to Kanter. Brown outside.
Who's watching here?
And Embiid with the block.
Boy, supported by great vertical explosiveness, Embiid continues to dominate as a rim protector.
And that's out of bounds. Boston will retain possession. Celtics trail by 21.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Now a timeout called by Boston.
You know, after the Sixers were knocked out in the second round for the second straight year, there was some speculation, and I think unmerited, whether Brett Brown might be let go as head coach. The players voiced their support and made the decision easier to bring him back, and I think it was the right one. He's done a fantastic job as the leader of the Sixers.
Yeah, and checking out some stats here for Ben Simmons. He's coming off an excellent season. 6th in assists, 15th in field goal percentage. And he was among the top 20 rebounders in the league, never shy about throwing his weight around in the paint.
And his floor awareness was impeccable last season. As you mentioned, top 10 in assists, just does a great job of getting everyone involved. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. And Coach Brown, Clark, captained the ship through some real rough times in the beginning.
And, you know, Kevin, I think for that reason and the job he's done here recently, he's earned the right to see this thing through. It's a result-oriented profession. I know that, and I understand it. But this is a team built to contend, and that's the expectation. And I'd like to see Brett Brown have a chance to bring it to full fruition.
The first one falls.
And some of what Smart gives this team doesn't always show up in the stat sheet, but he makes plays that help you win.
That one misses.
Good start, Jojo.
Very rare for players to be elite defenders from the moment they set foot in the NBA, but that was the case for Marcus Smart. A tremendous physicality to go with a pit bull disposition has made him downright scary at times at that end of the floor.
And so it's Boston with it after the Sixers pick up 2. Here's Cantor. Clock at 6. And it's Joel Embiid with the rebound. Embiid's got his 6th rebound on the night.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
Yeah, sensational is a really good word for it, Greg. They're tearing it up on the glass.
Now, here's Burks. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him.
A main staple in Williams' game, that sixth sense for when to rise up and deter those shots.
You know, Greg, defense a given for Marcus Smart. The growth necessary for him has been at the offensive end.
And now, finally making progress as a three-point shooter. Had already made strides with his passing. He's becoming quite the two-way player.
And so it's Smart. He'll bring up the ball for the Boston Celtics. Here's Brown. Rebound by the 76ers. Embiid's got his 7th rebound here tonight. And that one's good. Thibault.
Excellent all-around performance so far, hence the big lead.
Yeah, you know, they've had the advantage at both ends. They've got all the momentum early on.
Now here's Smart.
And all you got to do is look at the rebounding margin as to why they hold the lead.
And you know what? That tells the story in a lot of games, guys. And here you go. It's telling the story tonight, too.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
If it's working, keep working it. That's what I say. Keep the pressure on them.
Here's Brown. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. And for Jaylen Brown, part of the challenge last season, especially with the return of Gordon Hayward, was meeting the high expectations, Greg, in a reduced role.
Competition for minutes, and then early on, he struggled. We all see the potential, but it's really about seizing the moment every time you're on the court.
Two.
That free throw good from Brown. And the Celtics rebounding well this summer. From the loss of Kyrie Irving and Al Horford, Kemba Walker possibly a better fit for this team.
And with their young core, understandable that they didn't want to extend Horford out to age 37. A revamped roster, but I think they remain a contender in the East.
And Brown drops them both.
And the vertical that Brown has is quite impressive. As relentless a finisher that you'll find in this league.
Here's Burks. The shot that time, not on target. Now the Celtics take it the other way. Here's Smart. That shot, no good. Philadelphia leading by 22. Horford kicks to O'Quinn. Now the pass to Milton. Takes the 13-footer. The shot is good off the backboard.
Defensively, giving up far too many open rhythm looks.
And to battle back, they've got to shore up the defense. I mean, there's no other way to come back from a deficit unless you play good defense.
Brown. Milton grabs the board.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target. Okay, 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right?
That's right. He was ultra safe with that dunk, no question.
And he should be. I mean, remove all doubt. Get it down hard and simply.
And this is where Smart's at his best, being aggressive, going towards the rim.
Here's Thibault. And that one released in time, but no good. And so it's Ben Simmons making highlights for the Philadelphia 76ers. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. And don't go away. We'll be right back. The game is evolving, and Al Horford has changed his game along with it.
It never occurred to me that I'd be shooting threes at this rate and doing some of the things that I'm doing, but it's just the way that the game has evolved.
And give Horford credit, he adjusted with the times. He didn't stay set, Greg, in his ways.
Yeah, he was always a great mid-range shooter, and he's proven to be a legitimate threat from deep.
And glad to have you with us, folks. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. And the 76ers have been rolling along, haven't they?
They came in on a mission, razor-sharp offense in that first period.
Yeah, I agree. That was a flawless offensive performance so far. I mean, the shots have been falling. They're making good decisions. That's a nice recipe there.
On the court for the Celtics, second quarter underway. Smart and Brown outside on the wings. Enes Kanter is out there with Williams. And it's Wanamaker in at the point. And he makes the first.
A big X factor for the Sixers, I think, will be the development of Ben Simmons' jump shot. He's got to become at least a threat as a perimeter shooter if they're going to have a chance to win it all.
He hits both from the stripe. And especially in the playoffs where teams really scheme for you, Simmons shooting can be a real problem for the Sixers.
Yeah, it's a major liability, guys. There's no denying it. For all of his wonderful ability and versatility, the fact that it's basically 4-on-5 when they're on offense with him on the floor is a problem in the playoffs. And you said it. When teams can lock into you, they're going to make you do what you're uncomfortable doing.
Here's Horford after Enes Kanter's basket. Horford's shot is good. Horford's got 4 points in the quarter.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash-mouth physical basketball, guys.
And Wanamaker gets it to go.
And despite the size disadvantage, attacking the heart of that defense.
You know what, guys, honestly, I didn't think he'd win that battle. I mean, that's a lot of height to give up.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, Josh Richardson has made himself into one of the top defensive wings in the league. Richardson says there's a certain competitiveness that comes with being a good defender. The defensive end takes will, and I have a lot of it. Kevin J. Rich is self-described as super competitive, and that edge is what drives him.
It sure is. That's what it takes. Thank you, David. Here's O'Quinn. Marcus Smart picking up that last basket.
And let's see the stat sheet here on Enes Kanter. He had a strong showing last season, 14th in rebounding, and he was in the top 20 in field goal percentage, able to create offense with tremendous efficiency.
And we talked about how strong he was on the boards, going hard at it at both ends last year, really helping out his team. Here's Wanamaker. There's the three. Al Horford with the rebound. Horford's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Passes it to Milton. Here's Burks. Score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt. And so Wanamaker will bring it up for Boston. They'll be playing host to Toronto for the next one. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. And it's sent back by Horford.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
Now, here's Burks. The second chance effort and a missed layup.
I think he'll think twice about attempting that shot next time. The defense was right on top of him there.
And it's Brown missing.
Yet that's another miss for him. They're behind in this game largely because he shot so poorly.
And pushing it up, here's Boston. Brown's got the ball.
Boy, there's a lot to like about the attitude of Brown. If he sees a fast break opportunity, he's taking full advantage of it in a heartbeat.
Here's Milton. Good ball movement here by the 76ers. Horford double team. And we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there.
You two players.
So it's Boston now. The Celtics have gone 4 of 7 from the field in this second quarter so far. Pass to Cantor. Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. 5 to shoot. Here's Smart. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Clark, you and I are sitting here watching this game, broadcasting the game. There are a lot of times that the fans can't see how emotionally charged up you are over some of the things you see on the floor, good and bad.
Hey, I love great basketball. Excellent passing, tremendous hustle, creativity on your moves. One of the things that really excites me, though, is to see the ball pop and end up in a three-point shooter's hands, and he's able to knock one down because the crowd is able to follow that ball, and the anticipation just kind of rises as it gets to the designated shooter. I love guys going after rebounds on the offensive glass.
That's a great example about the three-point shot, though, Clark. I love that. That's terrific. And so, Smart nails both of them. The 76ers leading by 20. Pass to Milton. On the wing, Harris. Over Tatum. Harris, no good. Boston shooting a sweet 57% clip in quarter number 2. Got that bucket in no time at all. And that's now 6 points for Jason Tatum. For Philadelphia, they've gone only 2 of 7 from the field since the second quarter got underway. The pass to Milton. And here is Harris. 6 on the shot clock. And Tatum pulls it down.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Now, here's Tice. He's still scoreless so far in this one. Back to Smart. Walker in the post. Richardson covering. And Walker kicks to Smart. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. This break in the game gives us a chance to look at the teams with the most points off turnovers last season. 5th on the list, the Celtics.
And they turned all those mistakes into points at the other end. That aggressive style really yielding big dividends.
Milton the pass to Richardson.
Hey, yo, right here.
Passes it to Korkmaz.
Kick it out, man. Kick it out.
Here's Harris.
Ball coming, ball coming.
Can they get it? It's good. It's his second basket. He's shooting 2 for 4.
You know, even when Harris is under pressure there, I like the shot clock awareness. He stays composed.
And the foul on Josh Richardson. That's his first foul. And the 76ers with some changes. Joel Embiid, he's checked in for Kyle O'Quinn. And it's Ben Simmons in for Shake Milton. Here's Tatum. He's got 6.
Hey, kick it out, kick it out. And one.
Korkmaz grabs the miss. The 76ers leading by 20.
Hey, set it up.
Richardson outside. Pass to Simmons. That one bounces around and comes back out. For Boston, they've gotten exactly half their shots to go down here in the second, 5 of 10. Tatum's shot is off.
And you know what? He's just not on his game, no doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
Boy, that's an outstanding job by Tobias Harris there, keeping his composure and concentration, then converting while under pressure. Well done.
And this is his second trip to the line in the game.
One shot.
That's good from Harris.
No wasted trips at all. They're taking care of business at the line.
One way to protect the lead, knock down those free throws, and 100% free throwing for the quarter, that's superb.
Walker's shot is off.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
Shooting 2.
Clark, I want to take you back a bit here to 1982. What was going through your mind over your first few NBA games?
Well, Kevin, first of all, I was really excited and thankful to have a chance to realize a dream, but I was also a little bit nervous going up against some of the guys that I had watched and idolized from afar. But once you're between those lines, it's not about idolizing guys. It's about trying to posterize them.
Any player in particular, one player that you looked out on the floor and when you were out there as well saying, oh, my goodness, look who I'm playing against tonight?
Well, when we first saw the Celtics and the Sixers, Larry Bird and those great teams in the 80s, Cedric Maxwell and Kevin McHale, and then the Sixers, my rookie year, won it all. And they had Moses Malone, Dr. J, Bobby Jones, some of the greats in the game. So those two teams and Dr. J and Larry Bird in particular.
Now here's Simmons. 10 points for him. Second shot opportunity. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Man, I tell you what, I love how Embiid doesn't shy away from contact. He's skilled at finding ways to get to that foul line.
And after he missed the first 2 seasons of his career, Greg, with a broken bone in his foot, would injuries be your main concern for Joel Embiid?
Look, no doubt about it. As long as he's healthy, he's an all-league performer. Still, 7-footers carry a lot of weight in our league. He wants to prove he can play big minutes. They just got to make sure they protect him.
First free throw is good.
You know, guys, it's crazy to think that Joel Embiid once considered quitting the game. I mean, his first practice at Kansas, a senior dunked on him so hard he went to the coach and said, maybe I should get out of this stuff. Luckily, the coach talked him down, and now we see one of the best in the league.
Robert Williams, he's checked in for the Celtics. And Embiid drops them both. And some real adversity for Joel Embiid after leaving Kansas. Foot injuries costing him the first 2 years, Clark, of his career. And then, back in Cameroon, the tragic passing of his beloved brother.
Yeah, that's a hard road to hoe, and adversity oftentimes, while painful, can steel us for the promised land or positive outcomes. And, you know, Embiid really driven by his goal to inspire others in Africa to make a better life, and that drove him to be where he is now.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
Now here's Hayward. No points in the game yet for him. And it's off the back rim, no good. Here's Korkmaz. Good for the basket, starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Tice finds Walker. Hayward from outside. Simmons pulls it in. Simmons got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Korkmaz, no good. Boston's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Richardson against Smart. Pass to Tice. Shot clock at 6. There's Walker with the 3. The basket good off the assist from Hayward. And it's 7 points for Walker.
Yeah, you know, the form, the balance, the release, the touch, the arc. Walker adept at shooting the 3-ball.
Here's Simmons. Sweet little floater. Simmons got 12.
Tell you what, he has been feeling it, guys, and the best game plan right now, it's elementary. Just keep feeding him. Let him eat.
Out of bounds, Philadelphia takes possession.
And a chance to check out Joel Embiid here. Last season, he played outstanding. 2nd in rebounding, 4th in scoring, and he finished among the top 10 in blocks, bringing that intimidation factor to the paint.
And looking back at last season, his complete dominance on the boards to rank number 2 overall. Absolutely remarkable. Now here is Harris. 9 points in the game so far. Looks good, is good. Bucket number 4 from the field. He's taken only 6 shots.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
Simmons against Walker. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. That one on Embiid. And during his time in Charlotte, so much fell on the shoulders of Kemba Walker.
Yeah, you think about it. The first 8 years of his time in Charlotte, he did not play with an all-star teammate, but he managed to not complain or whine about it, does his job at a high level, and has proved that he's an all-star player himself.
2 shots. Relax on the first.
That's good from Kemba Walker. One of the bigger names on the free agent market this past year, Kemba Walker.
And it didn't take long for him to land with Boston to replace Kyrie. Hornets made an attempt but offered well below Kemba's value. Now, I think Kemba's going to be a great fit in Boston.
The Celtics making a switch here. Edwards is checked in.
Hey, and that explosiveness of Walker is sometimes just mesmerizing. A quick-footed guard with a superb shooting stroke to match.
Simmons dishes to Harris. Williams with the block. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Williams. Here's Simmons. 12 points for him. Here's Richardson, and the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Kemba Walker picks one up. And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for the 76ers.
Guys, right from the start, it's been apparent they're determined to establish a presence in the paint.
Something else they've done right so far from the get-go tonight is run. I mean, so much of their offense has come off the fast break.
That's good from Richardson.
And didn't shoot it all that well from the line in the first quarter. Doing a much better job now in the second, up over 80%. And no secret here. This is what you need to do with the lead. Hit your free throws. And they're having a great second quarter at the line.
And Walker kicks to Edwards. Hayward passes to Edwards. Floats it up for Williams. Takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
What I really love about this kid, you know, Williams he's physical, he's explosive, and yes, he plays above the rim. He just brings that nastiness to the game.
And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. Well, the last few years, we've seen a huge improvement from Tobias Harris's shooting the deep ball.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kevin. He went from not really having a reliable outside shot to being a 40% shooter from outside the arc. It's opened up a lot for the rest of his game, and it's a big reason why he scored over 20 points a game last year.
Shooting 2.
And the first one drops. Well, we knew that Tobias Harris would be one of the big names during free agency this past summer.
Wasn't a lot of speculation for him when free agency hit. Ends up staying with the Sixers, and I think it makes sense for both sides, and he fits nicely next to Embiid.
And Philadelphia making a change here. Burks is checked in, and Harris drops them both.
You know, over time, I think Harris has become really good at accepting more responsibility, and that's part of learning how to be a leader.
Now, here's Cantor. And here comes Harris leading the fast break. Williams with the block, and Simmons slams it in. Boston's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Edwards passes to Williams. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Boy, he is a behemoth in the paint. Once Williams establishes himself, you almost have to foul him.
This is his first free throw of the game.
And you know, you'll take what he can give you from the free throw line. Looking at his numbers, just really not one of his strengths. Shooting in the low 60s last season.
You know, yeah, guys, last year was a rough one for him at the stripe. I mean, it's going to be hard for him not to improve on those numbers. They were that bad.
2.
And that one falls for Williams.
And the energy of Williams, it's infectious. Amazing at using it to block shots, rebound, score, whatever they ask of him.
Al Horford, he's checked in for Philadelphia. So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2. And for the 76ers, their shooting has been outstanding in this game at 58%. Courtesy of the 2K leaderboard, here's a peek at the league's top scorers from a season ago. 4th, Joel Embiid.
And looking back, his points per game really underscored the fact that he never took a game off. I mean, one special performance after another all season long.
He'll take his 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the game right here.
2 shots.
First one falls for him.
And it took them a while to find their touch at the line, but they have been red hot here in the second quarter.
That one falls, so he hits both of them.
You know, Embiid has a very similar story to Tim Duncan's. I mean, the Cameroon native did not start playing basketball until later in life. Now he's one of the very best in the game.
Now here's Edwards. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. And it's Brown missing.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
And you know what, guys? That will pump him up because he takes a ton of pride in what he does on defense.
Take a break. 2 shots.
That's good from Horford.
You know, he was the 3rd pick in the 2007 NBA draft, guys. Horford won 2 college championships at Florida back-to-back before entering the league.
and he can't hit the second. Well, the book, Greg, is the same for Enes Kanter as it's always been. Great score inside, but his defense leaves you wanting.
And Kevin, at this point, he is who he is. I mean, for better or worse. Kanter is still a force off the bench to give a team some post presence in their second unit, but not sure he'll ever be a player to build around.
You know, the three-point shot, guys, is something that Brown continues to improve upon. It's important for him to be knocking down these looks to expand his offensive repertoire.
Here's Simmons, banked in off the glass. Simmons got 6 points in the quarter.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
You know, he should be getting extra attention from the defense, not less.
And so it's the Philadelphia 76ers with a massive lead of 30 points here at the end of the quarter. They've been playing some ferocious defense. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David. Thanks for the great interview, David, and we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ben Simmons had it going on in the first quarter. He had 16 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. And from what we saw so far from the Sixers, Kenny, what's your takeaway?
They're not taking the soft approach to this game, fellas. They're playing physical. Just look at how many times they've gotten to the line by being active, driving the lane, and drawing contact. It's gotten them points at the stripe. It's gotten defenders off balance. They've been the more aggressive team tonight by far.
And Shaq, your thoughts on the Celtics?
Well, it's no wonder they're getting blown out. No energy, no fight in the rebound battle. Ernie, you got to pick it up. You got to pick it up starting now, or it's going to be impossible to come back. Like the Pythagorean theorem, times 50, times 100, times 50, times 10. Impossible to figure out, Ernie.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. You look at Ben Simmons in this game, he's been everywhere.
In that first half, he was a hot knife, and the defense was butter, sliced right through them.
Well, you know what, guys? My question is this. Who's he going to posterize in this half? You know, we've already gotten a number of filthy dunks out of him.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. The tall lineup out there for the 76ers. Simmons, Richardson, Harris, Horford, and Embiid. And that's the group for Brett Brown as we begin the second half. Now here is Horford. Down to 5 on the shot clock. It's blocked. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time.
And a moment here to check out the stats for Hayward. Last season's performance for him averaged about 11 points a game last season, 4 rebounds and 3 assists. Even though his numbers have been more than solid, I think he'll want to step his game up to another level.
Yeah, and you know, on paper, those numbers are terrific. Most players would be thrilled with those numbers, but as good as they are, I know this guy expects more of himself.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, if you were going to lose Kyrie Irving, why not replace him with Kemba Walker? The Celtics brought Walker in from Charlotte last offseason, and it looks like he's going to pay off big time in Boston. The Celtics didn't exactly do what they wanted the last couple of years, but with Walker and Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum and a hopefully healthy Gordon Hayward, the Celtics aren't exactly going to be in the lottery anytime soon either.
Well, you're right on that, D.A. They're still stocked, and we love Walker. He'll, I think, mix well with this team. Thank you. Tatum, he's checked in for Enes Kanter. Here's Walker, and that one drops for him. Walker's got 13.
Yeah, Walker seemed unbothered by the defense there. Very creative with the rock in his hand.
And Simmons kicks to Harris. The pass to Richardson. Back to Harris. And Brown over to help. Harris's shot is off.
That's 1 for their first 4 to start the second half.
And Tice gets it to go.
They're doing work here in the second half. 3 or 4 to start.
Out left to the wing. Here's Horford, and a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It goes on Jason Tatum.
You talk about players that have transformed their bodies in the NBA. How about Gordon Hayward? Has added muscle every year while maintaining that speed and agility.
Two.
And that one falls for Horford. You know, Greg, when he came into the league, Hayward looked so young. You almost don't recognize him now.
I mean, the suit of armor from his time in the weight room and the hair looking sharp to match.
And Al Horford drops them both. Here's Brown. 9 points in the game so far. Passes it to Poirier. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. That one on Horford. The Celtics have been shooting right around 75% at the line, 9 of 12 so far.
And when you look at their numbers from a season ago, 80% as a unit, that's something you'll be happy with.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw missing. He hits the second from the line. And we're just about 2 minutes into the second half now. Richardson outside. Embiid is at the elbow. Just 5 to shoot. The 3 ball. The 76ers again can't hit it.
You know what, though? Sometimes you can be too open. I think it may have surprised him, and that's why he missed.
Hayward can't hit.
And the well is running dry for him right now. Nothing falling.
And, you know, you can sense his frustration. This is going to be a test of his resolve here.
Richardson gets a wide open look. Off target from 3-point range. Hayward against Richardson. The shot's good from Gordon Hayward. Hayward's got his first 2 points of the night.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
Simmons against Walker. Harris outside. That's tipped. Walker against Simmons. Left side Walker. That one wide left.
How about that hard-nosed D in the paint right there? Nice job.
Impressive work protecting the basket. He held his ground nicely on that one.
Tice finds Walker. Over Simmons. Walker's shot is off.
The defense made an impact right there. Definitely got him uncomfortable going up with it.
And Simmons slams it in.
And, you know, guys, we know Simmons most enjoys getting others involved, but he's showing you he can have huge nights himself as well.
Now Brown. 9 points in the game so far. And here comes Harris leading the fast break. Yep, that one goes in there. Harris has got 15.
Not shying away at all from some contact. Harris takes it to the rim with force.
Walker the pass to Tice. Hayward outside from downtown. Boston, no good that time either. Philadelphia's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Embiid dishes to Simmons. Feeds to Harris. The rebound by the Celtics. In the corner, it's Hayward. That falls. Nice feed that time from Walker. 5 points in the game.
Terrific awareness that time from Walker. Nice job getting his open teammates the rock.
Simmons inside. Working on Walker. Shots good by Simmons.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
Yeah, it's really been quite a contrast. I like the way they're attacking the middle at their offensive end.
Hayward finds Tice. Nice ball movement by Boston. And here's Brown outside. Buries it from three-point range.
Hey, guys, that's just outstanding confidence from Brown. I mean, getting up with the shot right away and giving the defense no time to react, that's impressive.
Here's Harris. Hayward with some nice D. And so it's Hayward with it. He'll bring it up for the Celtics. The dish to Walker. Pass to Tice. The kick out to Walker. The three-pointer, no good.
After hitting 1 3 in the first half, he's been unable to dial in from deep since then.
Over to the left wing. Here's Tice. And there's the bucket. Staying with it on the offensive glass, getting it done. Tice has got 4 this quarter.
You've got to box out on the boards. When you don't, that's what happens.
Hayward against Harris. Tries again. He lays it in. Harris has got 17.
Yeah, you know, Harris is an active player. I mean, he's smooth and he's skilled, but he's also a guy that's got some grit and grind to him as well and gets in there and keeps possessions alive.
This could get even more out of hand if they continue to put up points.
Wow, Kevin, what a performance we are seeing.
Well, I don't think he's performing up to his own expectations, but they still find themselves out in front.
And Walker kicks to Hayward. Pass to Tice. To the paint. Here's Brown. That's in for his 5th field goal of the game. Makes him 5 for 12 so far.
And Brown is just so physically imposing. I mean, especially inside where he usually gets whatever he wants.
And the 76ers decide to take their first time out here. Both teams deciding to change it up. With a break in the action, we've got a chance now to look at last year's top rebounders. Second, Joel Embiid.
What a season he had in the paint. I mean, his rebounding numbers really mind-boggling. Who wouldn't love to have a guy like that?
Milton the pass to O'Quinn. Here's Milton, guarded by Tatum. Here's Thibault. Unable to get that one. Good work defensively by Smart. And slam dunk by Smart.
And all of a sudden, things finally coming together for them. The deficit's still large, but now not insurmountable.
And, Greg, that kind of deficit, I think they're going about it the right way. I mean, they've got to get aggressive on defense. They need stops. And then you got to take care of the basketball at the other end so you get a good shot every trip.
And it's just one of those days, guys. He has just struggled to shoot the basketball.
Burks on the wing. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for Philadelphia.
The mid-range that you've seen from them about as good as it gets, and there has not been a drop-off in the second half.
They've also been pounding it inside tonight and coming away with a lot of points in the paint. I call those PIPs.
The first free throw is good. Kemba Walker is checked in for Brad Wanamaker. So he gets them both.
We're still waiting for that first miss from the line this half.
100% since halftime? Come on now. I'm not sure this lead's going away anytime soon with that kind of marksmanship.
Back to Walker. 6 to shoot. From the arc. And Joel Embiid pulls it down. The 76ers leading by 23. And Boston with the rebound. Smart's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Looking to get back on track here. And it's Walker that time on the assist from Smart. 15 points for Walker.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Here's Burks. He's on target from 8 feet out.
Oh, he had him spinning. He looks like he's dizzy after that crossover.
Boston's gone 2 of 5 with the 3-point shot since coming out of the break. And Walker kicks to Tatum. Cantor with it. And the pass to Smart. It's good. Smart's got 11 points.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense, Greg, has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
Here's Walker. Lays it up off the glass. Walker's got 8 here in the quarter.
That's an aspect of Walker's game that I like. I mean, his ability to use the dribble drive and score on the move, nice.
Burks the pass to Thibault. Here's Milton, guarded by Smart. Philadelphia moving the ball around. Out to the wing. The 3. Rebounded by the Celtics. Outside Williams. Pass to Cantor. Left side Walker. Now the feed to Smart. The 10-footer. And another basket for Boston.
And 10 of their last 12 coming off assists.
And so it's Burks bringing it up now for the 76ers. They lead by 17. They've got the Pistons ahead of them in their next game in Detroit, and that'll be the first of a 2-game road trip for them. And they double up Embiid. And the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball. And Philadelphia has possession. O'Quinn the pass to Milton. He dishes it to Burks. Shot clock at 5. Drops it in from 14 feet away. Burks has got his 3rd bucket of the night.
You know, that part of the floor, guys, is more or less his real sweet spot, right in his wheelhouse.
Outside Tatum. Back to Walker.
Come get it, come get it.
27 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. From the line, it's good. Walker's got 10 points in just the second half.
And they're showing much more focus here in the second half. More effort as well. And their offense starting to show signs of life.
Burks looking around. And the last second attempt does not go in for him.
You know, it's good to see Walker focusing more on defense, working on becoming better in this area moving forward. You like to see that in a player.
And so it's the Philadelphia 76ers out in front by 17 points at the end of the quarter. They've got their field goal percentage to thank for that. They've been hot from all over the floor tonight. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And it's time now to bring you our State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Yeah, and with the accuracy to go along with that vision. I mean, he put the ball in the absolute perfect spot. That's how you orchestrate it.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. And a look at the five for the Celtics to start the fourth quarter. Walker and Smart, the guards. Williams is out there with Enes Kanter, and it's Tatum in at the small forward position.
And after an abysmal first half from the field, the shots now starting to fall.
Walker against Burks. Here's Harris. No good on the shot. Great D that time from Tatum. Here's Walker. He can't hit that time. And the 76ers go the other way with it. Harris kicks to Korkmaz. And out of bounds as the Celtics gain possession.
Boy, that's a moment he'd like to archive. Embarrassing lapse of judgment there.
Smart passes to Kanter. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and two shots coming up.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one. And Kanter drops them both. And it's the 76ers with the ball. It's a 13-point game. Pass to Thibault.
I got yours. I got yours.
Embiid against Kanter. High post, Embiid. He feeds it to Harris. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. Harris has got 19 points.
Harris has really become much more adept at finishing hard shots. Great focus there.
Smart passes to Williams. Good.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Pretty clear. It's smash mouth basketball. Pound that thing inside.
Screen.
Here's Burks, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That's on Enes Kanter.
Two.
And the first one at the line is good. The Celtics making a switch here. Hayward's checked in. And Burks hits 2 free throws.
Already a very confident player, knocking down those free throws only fuels that.
Burks against Walker. Now here's Tatum, guarded closely. The shot, no good.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And you know what? He's not going to give up an easy finish at the rim. I mean, that's just against his constitution.
A nice shot by Harris.
Really tough to defend Tobias Harris any better than that. I mean, he's just got a special knack for making tough shots.
And it's Walker penetrating. Pass to Tatum. Pushing it up. Here's Korkmaz. Throws down the breakaway jam.
That's a double whammy, guys.
That's right. A great defensive play, then the emphatic stuff.
Well, turning defense to offense, we talk about it all the time. Try to hit your opponent at the other end before they can set up the defense.
We're in the final quarter of play here, 3 minutes in. And they double up Embiid. Shot clock at 6. Here's Harris. And Boston with the rebound. Cantor's got his 4th rebound in this one. Inside. Here's Tatum. And there's 2 points.
Timeout.
Working on the glass, paying off that time.
Tatum has no problem mixing it up, guys. Goes after offensive rebounds with real zeal and a great effort to clean up that mess on the glass.
Timeout called the 76ers. Moves on moves. Greg, that's Jason Tatum.
I mean, this guy's a natural isolation scorer. Jab steps, crossovers, turnarounds, fadeaways. He's got an awful lot in his bag.
And some changes here for the Celtics. Daniel Tice comes in for Enes Kanter, and it's Brown in for Smart. Philadelphia leading by 17. The pass to Harris. Shot from 12. Hayward grabs the board. Hayward's got 5 rebounds tonight. Here's Walker. Tatum trying to break free. Walker's shot is off. And here's Simmons. He'll bring it up for Philadelphia. Here's Embiid. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
And when he gets ahead of steam, you almost feel sorry for defenders. Ben Simmons, a combination of size, speed, and ball handling that can at times be unstoppable.
Two.
The free throw drops for Embiid. And with his passing and driving ability, Greg, Simmons is like combining a power running back in football with a pinpoint passing quarterback. Not much he can't do.
Kevin, a football metaphor is appropriate. Simmons grew up playing Australian rules football, and the physicality and quick thinking of that sport really reflected in his style of play.
Celtics trail by 19. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
From deep, Walker. It's hauled in by Harris. Harris has got 4 rebounds in this game. Here's Richardson. Some solid defense from Brown.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
Here's Embiid, and 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
And at 250 lbs, Embiid is a terror inside, using that large frame to draw those fouls.
Two.
The free throw drops for Embiid. Clark, it feels like we're seeing more and more of this, but bench celebrations and reactions at both college and pro levels.
Yeah, you know what, Kevin? I think it's a outgrowth of the social media platform.
You're right. I agree.
I think there's no question because anything that can be done that's creative and fun is going to find a life on social media and maybe go viral. And guys know that. They're aware. I mean, this generation has grown up with social media, so they understand that they could be seen beyond just the arena if they do something pretty clever.
And you and I are sitting over here watching it. We're laughing as much as anybody else, aren't we?
Oh, I'm not denying that it's fun. I love seeing it, actually, but on occasion it does get a little carried away.
And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Clark, the max contract didn't exist when you were playing. Is it something that should be up for debate?
Well, it's a function of the economics of the league now, and in theory, there's some reasons why you have max contracts, because a guy has earned that opportunity, a way to keep a star player or a max contract player with the same team, I think is part of the reasoning behind it. I mean, debating it and talking about it is probably something that makes some sense. If you're thinking about getting rid of it, I'm not so sure.
Shots good by Simmons.
With Ben Simmons, his wheelhouse is in close. The closer he is, the more dangerous he is.
Passes it to Tatum.
Right here.
Brown outside. Hits it from three-point range.
It's been this way since halftime. Tremendous production from beyond the arc.
Boy, it's been a three-point barrage. They came out gunning and have not stopped.
Simmons passes to Richardson. Pulled the shot a little up, but the bounce goes his way.
Well, I tell you what, I love the unselfishness of Ben Simmons. This guy delights in setting up his teammates, and if they're open, they get the ball.
It's Brown on the wing. Guarded by Simmons. Outside, Walker. In the corner, Tatum with it. The shot's good on the assist by Walker. Walker's got 3 assists in the game.
And that's back-to-back threes. The D just seems to be slacking off a little bit.
And pushing it up, here's Boston. Brown, good. Brown's got 5 points now in the quarter.
He's been a different guy here in the second half. His shooting percentage far better than it was before the break.
And the whistle blows as the basket counts and a 3-point play chance right here. 1 free throw coming up.
Excellent concentration that time by the 6'10" Simmons. Very good at completing these chances despite the defense's best efforts.
Shooting one.
That one misses for Simmons. Clark, you look at Ben Simmons. Is he the best Australian-born player ever?
Well, you've got to remember now, Kevin, and you would know this from your research, Kyrie Irving was actually born in Australia, lived there for a couple of years, and still has dual citizenship. So I'll leave that one to the fans to debate. Irving or Simmons as the best from Australia.
Switch.
Tatum against Embiid. He gets it in there. And it's 13 points for Jason Tatum.
Man, I like the way Tatum plays through contact, stays with his shot no matter what the defense throws at him.
Richardson the pass to Simmons. Feeds to Horford. The basket good off the assist from Simmons.
A remarkable interior presence. Horford's a veteran who still has those polished post moves.
Tatum against Horford. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Well, guys, you talk about players coming in, and with a huge impact, Jason Tatum showed he was more than ready to be an NBA star.
Rare do you see a player as polished and as impactful as Tatum. Stepped right in to be one of the top players on a top team with Boston. Fits their system perfectly, and really the sky is the limit for that young man.
Shooting 2.
And the first one drops. Clark, take us inside the halftime locker room in the NBA.
Well, players typically just regroup individually. There may be some conversation between the players as a group, but then the coaches will huddle, evaluate what transpired in the first half, what adjustments need to be made, and then they'll communicate that to the team. And it's basically a time to rest and regroup for the players to adjust and strategize for the coaches.
Clark, you think there's any videotape review in there, maybe showing players certain sets, certain schemes?
In this day and age, for sure, with the use of iPads and technology. If you go back to my time, there was no quick turnaround of video in the halftime locker room.
Right, right. I do know officials do that, too, in their locker room at halftime.
Two shots.
And he knocks down the first one. No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2. Celtics trail by 20. And here's Walker. Hayward passes to Brown. Nice ball movement by Boston. Walker's shot is off.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
And you know what, guys? That will pump him up because he takes a ton of pride in what he does on defense.
Tatum's shot is off. The 76ers leading by 20. Kicks it out to Richardson. Clark, a lot of fans ask us what qualifies as a legal screen versus a moving screen. And they feel there's a lot of gray area there. What do you think?
Well, I think there is some gray area because the problem you have, one of the problems is a number of veterans out there have become really masters at getting a little extra into their screen, which borders on illegal and many times is. So the league is doing a pretty good job of clarifying it. If you're moving your lower or upper body to help a teammate with your screen, then that should be called. And most times it is called as illegal. A hip check, a shoulder, any of that to set a screen is illegal.
Now a timeout called by Boston.
And the lack of rim protection, top of the list.
Yeah, you know, just look at the numbers, guys. I mean, they are being taken to the woodshed in the paint.
And now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Ben Simmons.
And Kevin, it's a no-brainer. He's controlled every aspect of this game, and it's just so fun to see a player perform at a level that's just higher than anyone else out on the floor.
What a connection he has to these fans. They love him here. And the more he has games like this, the deeper that connection gets.
Yo, watch him. Right here.
Walker against Simmons. And stolen by Horford. It's stolen by Brown. To the middle. Shooting foul. As the whistle blows, he'll shoot 2 free throws. That's on Ben Simmons.
Boy, you got to be careful and also aggressive when you defend Walker. He's good at using his speed and playmaking to draw the foul.
Clark, the relationship between referees and players reaching a fever pitch. What can be done to smooth those waters and mend those fences?
Well, I think first and foremost, players have to give. Both sides have to give in this equation, but I think it's incumbent upon the players to accept and respect the position of the officials, and the officials have to also be willing to engage in interacting well with the players. It's a two-way street, but I think most of that is on the players because they have to control how they respond to officials more than officials have to respond to the players.
That's also good. So he hits both free throws.
And this is one of the things they need to keep doing in the second half to get this win. Keep knocking down those free throws. They've been sensational here at the line.
Pass to Harris. Now Richardson, defended by Hayward. 5 on the clock. Pass to Horford. Shoots over Brown, and there's Horford. That's good on the assist by Richardson. And that's 15 points for Horford.
Stretches the floor nicely for a big, versatile. Horford's become a perennial all-star.
And Walker kicks to Brown. Fast break, Philadelphia. Richardson's running. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. And so he's picked up his final foul, and he will sit for the rest of this game. Williams, he's checked in for Boston.
Two.
And he can't get the first one. Regarding super teams, Clark, you and I have talked a lot about this. Many fans view them in a negative light, but they're actually something we've seen around in this game for a long time.
Yeah, you're right. So often we become prisoners of the present and we forget about what transpired in the past, but the Celtics in the 60s were as dominant as any team in the history of the game. The Lakers in the 80s, the Bulls in the 90s. But I guess fans have a complaint because they feel those teams came together more organically compared to what seems to be movement by free agents that has led to dominant championship teams, although the Warriors pretty much have built their championship team through the draft.
Match up on Walker.
Simmons against Walker. Looking to get it going. He takes it up and lays it in. Walker's got 23 points.
Insane creativity. Walker feels like he can just carve up any defense whenever he wants to.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for Philadelphia.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win, a game that not many will soon forget. And on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And against a conference opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series to establish a psychological edge.
Especially because they're going to get together 3 more times this season, Craig. You love to get an opponent figured out early when you're going to be seeing them that often.
And as usual, some excellent work tonight in what was a quality big impact game for Ben Simmons.
And the way he was able to dice up their D with his passing really made things easy for everyone else on his team.
And Hayward gets it to go.
Look, it's always great to get into a rhythm, but do it when it matters.
Now they're playing with urgency, huh? They could have done it much earlier before the game was out of reach.
Harris finds Embiid. Good ball movement here by the 76ers. And stolen by Simmons. So it's the 76ers winning this one easily. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David. All right, David, thank you. And that about does it for the first game of the new NBA season. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long, everyone.